So thank you guys for having me here. Yes, I am a rookie. Yes, this is how I am. And tomorrow at El Paso, I'm actually going to hike in jeans. Sorry about that, but that's how I am. Thank you for throwing me under the bus. Andres, I cannot throw anything to the Pachamama because I drink it already, and I don't think I can throw things over here, but I love that fact about you. Kristen, you set up the bar too high. You were nervous. You were. You nailed it. Thank you so much for that. So let me tell you a little bit about the story of what we do over here. We call it the micro entrepreneur chapter because for me it's kind of a book. It's a book that it still has to be written, and I hope this book never ends. It's something that I'm very passionate about. It's been very refreshing to hear a bunch of you guys being passionate about that too. And it's nice to see that everybody is actually pushing towards that. Kirsten, I know that greenwash is a thing, but I think that we have to give a chance to sustainability to actually try to define it within our small community, our small group. And by this, we actually can make a movement in which we can improve and set the bar high enough so everybody can follow suit or copy you. Either way. So before that, we have to talk about something that I call the true meaning of sustainability. For me, personally for me, and there's in some books over there too, sustainability is a three-pillar thing that has a roof. If one of these pillars is not being taken care of, the roof falls. Sustainability comes a long way, very technical. I can actually talk to you about hours about sustainability, getting extremely technical. I know I'm not going to do that, don't worry about that. But it's a very simple scheme, as you can see, that you can actually fall through or your roof will fall over your head because it's something that is not sustainable through time. As simple as that. Let's get a little bit more into technical-based sustainability. I'm so sorry about this, but it's going to be fast. You can actually create different things, and there's different types of combination between the three pillars that you actually do have to respect and take into consideration. Why do I say this? Because sustainability has to have its own financial liberty so it can subsist by itself. So yesterday we were thinking about the cosmos and everything, the Pachamama and things like that. Those are really sustainable things that do not depend on anybody else. It's just a force of nature. Think about that you can create an environment in which you actually create an ecosystem and give it a chance to live by itself and do not depend on external factors such as economic, social, or environmental. And this is actually true, and it's something that you can actually portray. I have this line, sorry if somebody gets offended, but I'm gonna help it out a little bit. If a project is not financially independent, it's philanthropy. And philanthropy is not sustainability. Now, philanthropy is really good. It's very good. But what happens when something like COVID hits? Philanthropy reduces itself in a very fast way. Because you have to live, you have to eat, and you have other concerns rather than giving your money for good causes. Now, it's as simple as if you give fish to men and women, they will eat, and it will go a long way. But if you teach them how to fish, that's forever. And now, some of the stories, sorry if I'm boring some of you. Somebody are like, my God, this kid can speak. This is something that I love because this comes with a story that actually began in late 2020 when COVID was still there and it was still a thing. Everybody was very scared about it. And I heard from a very good friend of mine and a good DMC about a very important visit from the president and owner of Big Five. And I was like, who the hell is Big Five? I did my due diligence and I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I'm going to go there. It was in the city of Otavalo. I asked, of course, for the VIPs list. In hospitality, you have to know who you're meeting. You have to address them by their last name. And I saw that his name was Ashish and something really hard to pronounce. Sorry, Rash, I know that you're there too. But I had to train 20 minutes to actually remember his last name, Shangrashka, so I can actually pronounce it properly. And that's really nice because once Ashish and my good friend Santiago crossed the threshold of my hotel, and I addressed him like that, we created an immediate bond because he was recognized. Once he was recognized, we hit it off like really fast. Sadly, I was pushing for him to like visit some of these entrepreneurs that we had in the region, very anthropological, beautiful things. But they didn't have time because Fernando Polanco, where are you? They had to go to Hacienda Zuleta. Hacienda Zuleta is probably one of the best products you're gonna ever see in Ecuador, and kudos to you, Fernando. You've done a really good job. Then I just realized that I'm actually throwing roses to my competitor, but that's the way it is, that's a reality. So we were like walking through the hotel, he liked the hotel, it's a beautiful setting. For those who you don't know it, you can actually Google it. It's quite impressive, I'm very proud of that product. And he didn't have time to do it because of Fernando. Thank you, Fernando. So I brought the things to him. I put a couple of entrepreneurs, these micro-entrepreneurs, into my hotel. And as soon as he actually saw it, his eyes lit up, like literally lit up. And Gisela, your last name is way easier to pronounce. Thank you for existing. You're such a gracious lady. And you can actually correct me if I'm wrong, but Ashish, his eyes actually lit up and the conversation completely changed tones. We weren't talking about suppliers or buyers. It was a complete different monster, the things that we were talking about. So it was kind of like a speed dating, eating, thinking, having fun with these entrepreneurs. And all of a sudden we thought about like these micro-entrepreneurs actually need to be helped. And I was like, I totally agree. And that's how Me Ecuador actually came to birth, is Micro-Entrepreneurs of Ecuador right now. And if you think about it, it's something that is so beautiful to share, and it's gonna help each one of us to actually upsell. So that's sustainable. It works for everybody along the supply chain. But the impact on us is small. It's small. If you consider it as a hobby, it's a hobby. It's very small. The impact on these people's communities, musicians, entrepreneurs, actors, indigenous communities or people, painters, sculptors, goes a long way. Because remember one thing, in the so poorly called underdeveloped countries, we're not underdeveloped, we're on our way to development, which is very different. And at some things, Catalina, thank you for that, we're even more developed than them, right? One of the great things about these people is that they're ready. They're already passionate about what they do. They already know the shores. They know the traditions. They know the culture. The only thing that we try to do is teach them how to serve, rearrange the storytelling, help them to see their spaces in a way better way, right? Rearrange a couple of things. We do not give them money. We give them our time. We give them our contacts. We let them understand in a very easy way how it is to work with tourism, with like, if it's a tour operator and then a tour agent, and if it's a conglomerate and if it's an OTA, blah, 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 blah. It's hard for us to understand that. It took me a while, to be honest with you. And for them it's impossible. So they just need a simple thing to actually get going. And these people in these such, on our way to development countries, these people are the ones that actually have the shortest straw of them all. We do not take care of them. We do not appreciate them as locals. And having people around the world in the luxury segment visit them is actually changing that storyline. It's all about the storytelling that you can do. It's something about making things fashionable. Fashionable, such as some examples that I'm going to show you right now. Don't worry, Daniel, I'm not going to drag this out that much. But you have people that have been working through COVID, and they actually see that tourism helps SMEs because they can actually, if they know how to manage and how to negotiate, they're going to charge their price. They're going to charge for what they've been doing for generations. They're going to charge for like mastering something that it takes time for them to do so. So it's a complete different story, and it's not all the way up the charge. $20, $30 per person that visits them. So it's pretty funny when you consider this, because, for instance, this is the Machado family. He is the third generation that is actually working in copper in the city of Cuenca. Kudos, Cuenca, Coqui. Pay attention to this kid. And the good thing about this is that beforehand an effect of globalization and of this beautiful device that everybody's actually using for work, for pleasure, for whatever it is that future generations, his kids, are not longer interested in his family's duties or in his work of art. Why? Because it's not fashionable enough. This thing gives you access to something that becomes aspirational, but is completely unrealistic, right? You see TikTokers, how they live, which is a lie. You see basketball players flaunting everything that they do, which is not a lie, but is very hard to get there, right? And nowadays, I had a beautiful connection with Marco, because I saw his kids like working over there, and I was like, dude, what happened? Like, you're forcing them to work here, right? And he's like, no, Sebastian. The other day that you sent me 5 clients and some other DMC, because he's not mine, that's slavery. Every single Ecuadorian DMC should sell him if it's a right fit for the client that they're tending to. He told me that his kid asked him about the gringos that were in his workshop. And how much did he make? And he's like, son, there were 5 of them for an hour and a half of my time. I charged them $20 a piece. And he was like, $100 for an hour and a half? And he was, yeah. Wow, you're charging like a lawyer. I was like, no, not at all. Because afterwards, they liked so much what they did with me that they spent $300 more in the things that I developed. And the kid was like, Jesus Christ, now I see a sustainable future. Now I can actually get my sneakers, my watch, and the things that I want to do, because it's actually something that is cherished by people that have tons of money. So it became fashionable for him. And now his kids are actually working with him. How hard it is? It is extremely hard if you're not passionate about this. It is extremely hard if you think this as a business. It is extremely hard if your purpose is not setting your eyes towards something else, towards something bigger than your own business. This is, for me, is bigger than myself. These are the lives of people. And people that are safekeeping the culture and traditions of my country, which is getting lost because of different factors. But tourism can actually stop it. And you actually see people that were ready for this, like Claudia, right? And if it's not in your business model, you can actually embed it into your business model. Because if you're passionate about something, you can like reboot it. Why not? Change the whole concept, change the scheme. But you have to have a passion for that because it's not easy. There's a whole process of how you actually can do it, and I can share it with you. I think one of the biggest things that you actually have to do is take time and care about these people, because these people are actually people that are not going to trust you. They do not trust you. They don't trust the government. They don't trust the private sector. They have heard so many lies. So it takes time to gain their trust. And you have to go down to their level and understand them and really understand the problems that they have in order for you to actually create a bond. Exactly the things that we're doing here. Although here there's amazing wine. What is the key? Collaboration. Collaboration is the key, and collaboration actually goes a very long way. But to collaborate, you have to be like truthful, you have to be honest, and you have to be confident that everything that you're doing and the people that you invited to do it with you have the same vision, have the same objectives, and they think more so than what we can live here in this world, how much money we can make, but actually transcend and show everybody that there's different ways of making a business model in a way better way and using the economic power, because at the end of the day it's economic, right? Using it to improve people's life, teach them how to fish, and it will go a long way. Thank you very much. I'm not going to bore you anymore. It's been a pleasure being here.